indication of the potential for some sort of circulation. It's nice to see right now, by the way, that I don't see as much of the bright green next to the bright reds with the white inside of it, and maybe that's an indication that this individual cell itself is getting weaker. But we are certainly going to continue to watch this because we've already seen it fizzle out and flare back up, and that can absolutely happen again as we find some more pockets of unstable air, and there is plenty of that to the east where this is headed. Let's go back to the reflectivities and take a look at some of the rain around the region right now. Not just what's going on in Wakulla, which is of course going to be our main focus for the most dangerous weather, but do you see how the colors change from the reds and even the browns in there, and you get north and you see more of the oranges and yellows and greens? So much weaker, much lighter rain north of Wakulla County compared to what's in Wakulla. And I see some of those heavier rains into southern parts of Jefferson County, where that air is going to be very moist and very unstable. And as these cells move into that area, that will start to be my concern. All right, I still see that yellow polygon off to the west, but it looks like we're only down to one of the red polygons now for southern Wakulla County, and it's the one that extends south of Highway 319, more towards Highway 98 down to the coast. So that tells me that areas in western parts of Wakulla may be a little less in jeopardy from this cell. Not any new cells developing back there, but it's the areas in the southern parts and the eastern parts that probably have the most potential for the danger right now as we continue to watch. And if you look here, you see where the heaviest rains are going. Those darkest colors are now east of Medart, working their way closer and closer to Shell Point. So in the next couple of minutes, it's going to be Shell Point that individual cell is nearby. So if you're in that area, now you're going to want to make sure that you are indoors, away from those exterior walls, windows, and get to one of those most interior places in your home. And definitely want to make sure if you're on the road, you find a real structure and get inside, and you have the pets inside and all the stuff battened down out there. So here's what it looks like on those wind velocities. Again, we're looking for those red colors and those green colors very, very bright and close together. And we did see that earlier off here to the west, but it definitely looks like it's getting weaker and weaker. We're getting less of the second color, more red, less green, as it gets past Medart and starts to work its way over towards Shell Point. That's encouraging. The less of the second color that we have, the less likely the rotation can continue. Doesn't mean it can't. And even if there isn't rotation, I want to stress, you can have some strong wind gusts. You can have some heavy rains that can cause flooding. In a tornado warning like this, there are other threats involved that can cause some dangerous and hazardous conditions. So we will certainly continue to monitor all that for you. What are some of the roads that we're looking at here? All right, well, I see Jack Crum Road over here, and that's one of the ones. And then maybe over towards Shell Point Road for sure. So in Spring Creek Highway, a little further to the north, that might be just far enough to the north away from where this individual cell is moving. But definitely, we're going to be watching this very carefully for at least another 10 or 15 minutes as it works its way from the west to the east, and it's moving at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So it is moving through areas quickly. That's always a bonus.